you know, time flies when you're having fun. I've been out to grab my coffee. We should grab that. Here it is. I always got the coffee in my hand when I'm doing these things during the day. And I've got my bike with me. I've been out on my bike to go do my choices as I do regularly every day. That's my number one priority, to make sure I get that done every single day, and I just get out on my push bike and go through those. I've got myself distracted. I've hit over into the op shops and grabbed some. I just got a set of Big Bang Theory seasons 1 to 8 for $6. Not sure about that. Little old lady in the thing, being very nice, gave me a copy of Wuthering Heights 2015, really nice edition, which I got for free. But thinking today much about where I'm going. I've got so much work to do. The choice I'll work through today, funny enough, is an interesting choice of using AI as my creative ally, whatever that means exactly. And it's more about creating systems, and it's a fundamental part of my choice of personal sovereignty. So I'm thinking a lot about the concept of like buckets and pipelines. So you see with this stuff where I'm going out purchasing things for the flip on eBay, is what I call a bucket process. So it's like I've got to keep doing the work. Everything I go out and source, I then got to come back and put it on eBay, and once it's sold, you get that money, and then you guys got to do the whole process over again, just the same as if you were carrying a bucket from a dam back to home. Once the bucket's empty, you got to go and refill it. Versus pipeline solutions, right, where you build a pipeline between the dam and your home, and then come back, and once you turn that on, it just continues to flow. So that's what I look at my course that I've got up on Udemy as. It's a pipeline. It took me 4 months to build it, with very little return in during that time, and now that it's there, it's dripping water. It's not a high flow pipeline, but it is a pipeline, and it just continues to flow stuff for me into that stuff. So I'm in a place where I'm very aware of the situation I'm in at the moment, is doing a lot of bucket work, collecting buckets, because it's easy to get distracted. There's a fast return on those, and so doing this eBay stuff, but it funds the pipeline building process. Now I want to be very, very careful that I don't get too buried down into building the eBay business. Like, I see a lot of people working those, doing it full time. That's not at all what I want to do. It's a means to an end. It's a way to fund what, sorry, my arm's getting sore. Probably time to pack this up. It's a way to fund the pipeline building business. And that's pretty much what I've got to say today. It's interesting that I'm really caught in that. I've got so much work to do. That's the big point. I'm out here at the moment, and I've got so much work to do. I've spent all day yesterday preparing batching of content. Most of the day I spent batching content, and then in the evening I sat down and started working on my Drupal website, where I'm tracking all that batch content. I sat down, and it took ages. Annoyingly took longer than I hoped. Everything always does. But I've got a bit of a system now, and I've worked through a fair bit of that. I've got a little bit of refinement on some of them to do. I've got a system where I can track content that's ready, content that's in draft, and then set a way to schedule that content out. And I want to keep going through that process so I can build up a huge backlog. But the whole time I do that, see, that's similar to a pipeline business. I mean, that's something I've got to keep doing. But that's all marketing for the course, marketing for the pipeline, that I'm doing all that content, getting that out. And I've got to sit down and process all that eBay stuff. That's all that bucket work. And so, but when am I looking at, one of the things I intuited, I got a symbol for what's my action step to achieve this today, and was surprised to get a sleepy koala sitting in a tree, sitting there half asleep, munching on the eucalyptus leaves. And what that told me was to not let the pressure get to me, right? Of course, there's work to do, there's things to get done, lots of work to get through. But that hard slog of having to go on a hard slog to get through it all seems like perhaps not the correct way to go about it, and not according to my intuition. So I'm just gonna, it's the slow and steady wins the race kind of idea, right? So that's what the koala can teach us, is that you don't need to push. Reminds me, I don't know his name. There's a guy, I believe he was the guy that set up Netflix, and he's I've noticed him around on YouTube a bit speaking about hard work and the myth of hard work, and how a lot of people do. And something I've believed in for a long time. People go, hard work's the key to success. And well, that's fucking bullshit. Seriously. And he talks about it. He says, imagine you're at the airport and you think you're going to be late for the gate. So you run, and then you get there and then you haven't missed your flight at all. He says the number of times in his career that's what happened to him, was that he'd rush and race to get to the airport, only to find that he didn't need to rush at all, and all that hard work was wasted and uneventful. And I've found in my life, often just working faster just leads to burnout. Which brings me back to the pipelines and the buckets, because if your whole strategy is based on carrying buckets to and from the water, then you're going to have to work hard, and you're going to have to work hard forever, because as soon as you stop, the water dries up, and you need to take some time to go and work on building the pipelines. And so it's not that I say don't work hard, but work consistently. That's my strategy for today. So I'm going to head home now. I'm going to be running the trivia tonight, so that's going to come down. We recorded the podcast for Code and Character the other day. That's come through and it's ready to edit. I've got all my eBay stuff I've got to get through. I've got all that content I want to do. There's absolutely no way in hell I'm going to get through all of that today. Probably wouldn't get it through all in a week. So let the pressure off, go home, use my intuition to just decide what's the most important aspect of things to do. The content matrix, the priority matrix will come into what's urgent, what's important, will probably come into play some point. But I'm going to head home and just get through the work that I need to get through, and we'll see what productivity I get from that. So that's it for today. Thanks, folks. See ya.